my jeans and my DBSST t-shirt today.
Okay, so we're on the white screen, we're streaming that looks good.
On YouTube,
So,
definitely. So, nice.
I think when we switch over, you'll click Team Scene, OBS, and mic. Kind of all in one function.
Okay.
Yep. And then everything should be turned on.
A lot of times when people have brought stuff in person, and the committees agree to take it, like, we'll get gifts when they're handing out copies, because we're not a committee member, and I'm like, hello, I need that. And so it is frustrating when.
But see, that is a concern, because if that's an indication, get down.
That's the part that
Right.
confusing me.
Same.
It's like,
There's
That's why I'm hoping that it works, because I honestly forget every time I do it. So, if not,
totally good.
click stream, and then we just have to turn all of these on manually. The point of these is so you don't have to click them all yourself. So, we'll see if it works right, and if not, then we can fix it. So, it should hopefully work.
So this is a question you have to remember.
And we got 10 on
I
line
guess I
2.
should have do it on top of
You were
this.
done.
Really annoying agencies right
The decision makers
now. That
is going to screw
they're
up,
gonna add more.
no matter what.
Well,
Just make sure there are.
And then you got 10 on there.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
and is it just, an internal decision that people here make
Yes,
based on
I don't think somebody wants
Chelsea usually shows up right on the dot, so we'll just have to wait her out.
Respect. Because that's how I am. It's like, I won't show up early, I won't show up late, I won't show up exactly.
Especially on Teams meetings, because I'm like, it's weird when you start it early, because then the other person gets notified, so then you get in, you're both just 5 minutes early. I'm like, this seems weird. Ooh, do I stand corrected? Oh, didn't check her back.
Who smells good?
Only thing about her is that hers pops up as waiting in lobby, so go ahead and check the green, so she can get admitted.
I know.
I have no idea why some do that and why others don't, so just make sure that you monitor it like during the meeting to make sure that that doesn't happen. But I have no idea why.
Essentially.
So we actually have a quorum now, so at time, I think Eric probably was
Already moved on. But they're going to have those zeroed on records. It's like it's not an.
at the last board meeting, we started 20 minutes late because we didn't have quorum, and we had an entire boardroom full of people just waiting to start.
Who were they with you?
A fire guy from Bend.
Priya and all they just went off to.
That was pretty much it. Thing is, we were like
So
super
she's like, yeah, because you
that or you cancel. Generally, if it's like 10 minutes past and we don't have quorum, we cancel and reschedule. Kind of like college rules, where it's like if the teacher doesn't show up in 15 minutes, you got it. But with the board meeting, it's a 26-member board, and if you have everyone but one person there, we're gonna fight hard to get that one person there so you can have this meeting. Especially, like I said, some of them are from Ontario, some of them are from Portland or Eugene or wherever. So we try really hard to get a quorum on that. It is, and it's a lot of babysitting. It's a lot of like, hey, you didn't say anything. Are you coming? Hey, you didn't say anything. Are you coming? Luckily, we should be set for tomorrow, but that was rough last time.
And I would also have to get off the wait screen.
You don't have to touch it. So when you touch this, it will automatically switch. So that's why it's just those 3 buttons, and then it should hopefully work. The only thing is whether or not. Trying to think. Yeah, it should work. And if it doesn't, I'll call Mitch, but it should.
Oh, he left.
Yeah. Well, either way, we can run the meeting. It's just whether or not the audio transfers to YouTube correctly. That's the only part that I'm wondering. So, oh, and then once we get started, too, you press those 3 buttons, and then we record on Teams.
Yes.
He sends up 400 pages of communication.
All right.
When you ask him a question. Yeah.
To order. Today is July 24th, 2024, and the physical meeting location place is at DPSST, Salem, Oregon, in the boardroom. Like to make a quick administrative announcement. The Applicant Policy Committee. This is a public meeting subject to public meeting law, and it will be digitally recorded. Deliberation of issues will only be conducted by the Applicant Policy Committee members unless permitted so by the chair. Remember, as always, to state your name for the record. For cases dealing with denial or revocation, only information contained in the staff report can be considered once the staff report is adopted. Assumptions, outside knowledge, or personal experience should not be included in any discussion. Individuals who engage in disruptive behavior that impedes official business will be asked to stop being disruptive or leave the meeting. Additional measures may be taken to have disrupted individuals removed if their continued presence poses a safety risk to the other persons in the room or makes it impossible to continue this meeting. With that said, can we call for introductions?
When I call out your name, can you please introduce yourself online? We'll start with Chair Reyes.
Aaron Reyes, Superintendent, Oregon Department of Corrections, Two Rivers Correctional Institution.
Member Barrett.
Denisha Barrett, Beaverton Police, Non-Management Law Enforcement.
Member LeVar.
Chelsea Labar, Bureau of Emergency Communications and representing the Telecommunications Policy Committee.
Member Langley.
Captain Ted Langley, representing the OSSA Jail Command Group.
And Member Thurber.
Brianne Thurber, Washington County 911 and TPC.
Now we'll go ahead and do introductions in the room.
Patty Fink, DPSST. Jennifer Howell, DPSST.
Cindy Park, DPSST.
Eric Rodell, DPSST.
Juan Lopez, DPSST.
Shelby Wright, DPSST.
Melissa Langacho, DPSST. Jennifer Lavario, DPSST.
And that concludes introductions.
Okay. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes from the previous meeting? Okay. If there are no requested modifications, I'm looking to confirm a consensus of the previous meeting minutes. Okay. Do we need to have a motion for that? See a head shaking no? Okay, then we are not hearing any objection. We'll go ahead and confirm those meeting minutes. Our next item on our agenda is administrative closures. Do you have any of those that you need to take care of, Ms. Park?
Just presenting that we have, I believe, 7 administrative closures to present to the committee for their review. The documents are provided to the committee for informational purposes only, as Oregon Administrative Rule has given DPSST the authority to close these inquiries without committee approval.
Okay. Are there any questions or any desire for discussion regarding administrative closures from any of the committee members? And any recommended closures that need to be removed from the consent agenda? Okay. Hearing no objections, I believe we can move forward. So call for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Shelby Wright, for the record, to clarify, these are inquiry closure memos that are just for information only, so there's no consent agenda.
Okay.
And
Okay.
consensus is not needed, it's information only.
This is why you can't take me out in public. All right. Okay. We're moving on to our case review. Is that a case? We have Dalton Cable. Ms. Park, is that something you want to introduce?
Yes, Thank you, Chair Reyes. Cindy Park for the record. We're reviewing today Dalton Cable, who's employed with the Oregon State Police. He is here on the grounds attending his basic police class. I did speak with him this morning. He did provide written mitigation, but is unable to provide verbal mitigation. So he wanted to make sure that the committee knew that due to his class schedule. Dalton Cable's before the committee related to a 2018 Fish and Game violation after he and a partner were observed shooting at a wildlife enforcement decoy. Cable was initially cited for hunting prohibited hours, a misdemeanor, and given warnings for hunting with artificial light and taking possession of a buck or deer. Cable ultimately pled no contest to hunting prohibited hours, which the court reduced to a violation. Moral fitness violation of gross misconduct. Cable's actions that led to his criminal disposition could have potentially harmed the property of the state of Oregon and its wildlife resources. Cable was not employed at the time of the violation, and his employer, the Oregon State Police, are aware of the violation. Chair Reyes.
Okay. Looking for a motion to either adopt the record or return the case to staff for additional information needed.
Chelsea LaBarre, I'll make a motion to adopt the report.
Barrett, I'll second.
Thank you all. And with the updates to the script and the process, this portion of adopting the record has been changed to a consensus. And so by your motions and votes and head nods, if there's a consensus to adopt the record. So we can do that.
Okay.
Roll call vote now. Thank you.
Thank you. So we will open the case up for discussion. Looking for any aggravating or mitigating factors. And remember to state your name and identify any aggravating or mitigating factors.
Ted Langley for the record. The two things that are pretty obvious, I'm sure, to most of the panel is that this happened coming up on 6 years ago. And in the light of the fact that the Oregon State Police recently saw fit to hire him with full knowledge of the criminal disposition that happened in 2018, I'd find both of those as mitigating factors.
Thank you.
Barrett for the record. I'll add, just to put some numbers on it, he was 20 years old at the time that this happened. He accepted responsibility. It looks like he went back and actually helped find the casing as evidence for this case. Because of his interaction with OSP, he actually wants to be a fish and game warden, which I think is huge. And he also already served what looks to be a 36-month suspension of his hunting license, which I think is a pretty appropriate and sufficient sentence.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else?
Chelsea LaBarre, I'll also add to for mitigating. It was just 30 minutes over the legal hours for prohibited shooting time, which I don't think is egregious.
Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you. Ms. Park, would you please review the identified aggravating and mitigating factors?
Absolutely. Cindy Park for the record. Mitigating factors. This event happened almost 6 years ago. Oregon State Police hired him with the full knowledge of the incident. He was 20 years old at the time and accepted responsibility for his actions. His interactions with law enforcement encouraged him to join the Oregon State Police and want to be a fish and game trooper. He served his 36 months suspension of his hunting license, which was appropriate given the circumstances. And the event happened only 30 minutes over the shooting time that was legal.
Okay.
And no aggravating, I'm sorry to finish that part, no aggravating circumstances were heard.
Thank you. Oh. Can we confirm there is a consensus on the identified factors? Yes. Okay, so this next section deals with we're gonna open discussion whether there was a moral fitness violation. And go over our moral fitness. We have either dishonesty, misuse of authority, misconduct, or discriminatory conduct. So do we have any? So you would call for a motion here, whether to affirm, modify, or negate the staff report.
Barrett, for the record, I'm pretty sure that they said they did not find any dishonesty, but they did find misconduct. I would affirm staff's selection and misconduct alone, just based on the fact that he was committing a crime and ultimately served some punishment for that.
Okay. Okay, so do we anybody second that?
Chelsea LeBar, I'll second.
All right, we are voting on a motion to affirm the moral fitness violations as presented. Chair Reyes,
Aye.
Vice Chair Barrett,
Aye.
Committee Member LeBar,
Aye.
Committee Member Langley,
Aye.
and Committee Member Thurber. Aye. Motion passed.
Next would be to call the motion to take action or no action.
Barrett, I would move that we take no action.
Rand Thurber, I second. All right, we are voting on a motion to take no action. Chair Reyes,
Aye.
Vice Chair Barrett,
Aye.
Committee Member LeBar,
Aye.
Committee Member Langley,
Aye.
and Committee Member Thurber. Aye. Motion passed.
Okay, our next motion here would be to decide what action we'll take. Okay, we already decided what action, take no action.
Yes, thank you. With your
Okay, so I guess we're done with that. Help me out here. Am I missing anything? We're good. Okay. Well, our next meeting per our agenda is scheduled August 28th. And at this time at 11:14 a.m., if there's no further announcements, we'll adjourn the Applicant Policy Committee meeting.
Jennifer Howell with a quick announcement. I will acknowledge the new script that you were provided and worked through so well today, and that we'll make sure that it's more reflective of the applicant committee review process for the next time around. I noted the discrepancies between what happens in the policy committee and what happens in the applicant review committee, and we'll get that updated so it helps the flow for you better next time. And I apologize for that.
No reason to apologize. It's a new learning process for us all, and we'll make it flow much better next time. Okay. Thank you again, everybody. Go ahead to anybody else. All right. Everybody have an amazing rest of your day, and thank you for being here.